Morning, America. How we doing today? We are in Illinois. We're in St. Louis, Illinois, or East St. Louis, Illinois. Closer, we're actually in Washington Park, Illinois. And we're right off Interstate 64. Right on the other side of this big building here is Interstate 64 going east and west. We're on the south side of it. And I'm over here picking up fish meal or salmon meal. I guess they take salmon carcasses and stuff and cook them down to where it's just a powder, and they're loading me up right now. We're back here between these two buildings. All right, now they're in these big Gaylord bags, as you can see. There's a warehouse there, there's a warehouse over here, and they're putting these Gaylord bags. They're going to put 17 of these Gaylord bags on me, and we're loading over here. I don't want to go in there where they're working because they might not want me filming them. But anyway, the truck is sitting here in between these two buildings. As you can see, this auger is coming out and dropping into the back of the truck. And we're gonna crawl up here and look inside real quick. Now, what they use fish meal for, I'm not quite sure. Some kind of a protein goes in a meal or some kind of feed. Crawl up here. But that's what we're loading right there. Fish meal. All right, so they're going to load this up the front and back. It's up to me to move and make sure it doesn't overflow and get my weights right. Now, how do I get my weights right if I'm sitting here loading bulk? Let me crawl back down. All right, down over here. There's a gauge right here, and I pull that out, and it's calibrated. When Kirk first put this on, we'd load the full thing up, and it was over around 30,000 pounds, where I actually had 34,000. Okay, 34,000 right there. And we had to get a little bitty screwdriver right here and calibrate it. We weighed, make sure it was 34,000 pounds back here. And then we sit there and dial this in to where it showed 34,000. Ever since then, it's been very accurate, okay? So, as you see, you push that in. When you close the door, it pushes that button in. When you open the door, you gotta pull that out, and it shows you the weight. Now, that's showing the weight on the trailer tandems, not on the tractor. Here's the tractor tandems. And I get up here in the cab, and I wanna keep, there's the boss man. I'll talk to him in just a second. I'm busy filming. Anyway, here's the gauge right here. Now, what I need to do is pop the trailer brakes only because I'm loading the front. So I pop the trailer brakes are locked. The tractor brakes are loose so it can fluctuate. And there's the gauge right there. And I get to about right there is 34. So I got a ways to go. When I get up to around 34,000. Now, I won't go to 34,000 and move, because if you think about it, as they're putting that weight in the trailer, let me turn around. Hey, as they're putting the weight in the front of the trailer, some of it's sliding back toward the center of the trailer, which means it's putting a little bit of weight on the back. So if I go all the way up to 34,000 on this gauge and then move forward, and they put 34,000 on the trailer, I'm going to be way overloaded on my tractor, because some of the 34,000 that's on the trailer, on the tractor, has moved to the back, and when they put it on the back, some of that's going to slide toward the front of the middle of the trailer, which will put weight on the front. So I'm going to move when I get around 32, I think, about around 31, 32. I'm going to move forward, which will start loading the back. And as we get closer and closer, I'll be moving back and forth, and trying to get right up here close to that 34,000. Why do I try to get to 34,000 on the front now? Because 34 on the trailer, 34 on the tractor. Where I have my fifth wheel set, I should have right around 12,000 on the steering, which is a total of 80,000 pounds. Well, I get paid on weight, so I want to get as much on there and still be legal. So I want to get right up to 34, and 12 on the steering, which is 80,000 pounds. All right, they've judged this at around 50,000 pound load, okay? and I'm right at 30,000. I'm real close to fuel. I'm really close, almost full of fuel too. So I'm right at 30,000 pounds full of fuel with me sitting in the truck. So that means I can put 50,000 pounds on, but right at 50,000. So by the time I leave here and drive over into Missouri and get to a scale, I will have burnt a little bit more fuel off, and I'll be right at that 80,000 when I go across the scale over there. That's the plan. Best laid plans, right? So, but anyway, they're going to throw these tubs in here, and what I'm going to do is, when I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and then I'm going to walk in there and ask them, because they're putting 17 those totes are about 2,700 pounds, he said. So he's going to put 17 on. Well, they'll put 8 on the back, 8 on the front. That's 16. And then I'll look at my gauges and decide where to put that last one. Will probably be right in the center, okay? And it'll kind of go half in the front, half in the back. And that should be about right. So with that, I got to get off the camera so I can get on the phone and call back Kirk back and see what he wanted. So all right, we can just get loaded here. We're about 30,000 on the front right now. Let's see what we got on the back. I've been moving back and forth. On back to the back. We got about 26 on the back right now. And still putting it on the front. Let me get my glove on. There we go. That's what we got on the front. Okay. 2 decent piles, and back in the back we got 2 decent piles. So it's about time to move back on the back again. There we go. Okay, pop the tractor brakes only, not the trailer brakes, because I want the trailer brakes to be able to flow, you know. And let's go back there and check it again. Make sure we're still underneath it, we're not spilling it out the back. All right, so there's the auger. I was kind of judging it by this cone, by my tire. There's the auger, and we need to go back a little bit more, about another 3 feet. Check again. We should be putting right on the tail right now. Now it's easier to crawl up and down these ladders on the front. Besides that, I'm closer to the cab that way, so I can move quicker. Quick back here. I need to move. Idle it. And I'm about 28. 32 on the tractor. I'm only about 28 on the back. But as we put it in, you'll see this bows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, from the back, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bows. So I got 4 bows on the front, 4 bows on the back. And I can judge about where it's dropping by the bow. There's the back bow, 1, 2. Be the same as 1, 2. It's dropping right here on the second bow on the back hopper. Alright. Well, that's not way over the back of the tandems. That's kind of in front of the tandem. So whatever they're putting on in the back, a little bit of that weight's coming to the front. So by the time I get to 34 back there, I should be 34 up front. I shouldn't have to put any more on the front. So that's what we're hoping anyway. Alright, now that third pile. So we got 1, 2 piles back here. We got 1, 2, and we're starting getting the third pile back here on the back. It's getting about to the top of the or bottom of the bow there. So I'm going to go check the gauge. At 31. Thing is, all of these products behave differently. Like I said, when you put grain on, it doesn't peak up as much. It's a more gradual peak. Okay, and what I'm learning is the sharper the peaks, the stickier the product is. It doesn't want to come out when you empty. When you go to open the hoppers and empty the trailer, it'll come out, but it's pieces of stuff will stick on the sides. Like right here on this center wall, divider wall, right there, there's a support rib. And you can see it's sticking right there. It's sticking right up there. Grain wouldn't do that. Grain would just fall right off of there. That means this stuff is stickier than grain. Each of this stuff has different, different weight per volume, This stuff looks like it's a little lighter than grain because I put more grain in it. The thing is, though, grain wouldn't be piled up like this so much. It'd be piled up, but there'd be a lot more down in the hopper in the bottom. And you wonder, well, why don't I put it all down there in the bottom? Well, you want to put the weight above the axles so it doesn't stress your trailer so much. You put all the weight right in the center. The trailer it's like a bridge with a lot of weight in the center of it, and it rides rougher. As you go over bridges, it does more of a springboard effect. And you want your weight above your axles and let the suspension take it. Also, it's easier on the trailer. It doesn't stress the trailer as much. But another thing is, I never thought of until I was talking to a guy, is if you put it all in the bellies, you get all that weight on that trap door. It's really hard to open that trap door sometimes. When all the weight's up here, there's very little weight on that trap door. You can open the trap door and then let gravity let it slide out. So, all right, we're getting a little bit closer on this one here. I'm going to go back and check the gauge again. So, there we go.